arrived at our favorite part of the segment.
Cocktail time. Let's do it.
Okay, so the best part about this era was the cocktails.
Yeah, there's no denying that. And when you watch Mad Men, it's all drinking and smoking all day long during work. You kind of
makes you thirsty.
It really does. Yeah, you do. You sit there and you're like, I think I need to go get a carton of cigarettes, and I need to have a new, like, you know, liquor cabinet sitting right next to me, right next to my desk at every waking moment. So yeah.
And actually, so when we were getting ready for the party, we thought the most important part, sadly, the focal point is going to be the bar. Yeah. So what we did is we set the whole bar up with basically every liquor that we owned, every liquor in every cabinet. And by the way, some of the drinks that they made employed a lot of those liquors.
Right.
Liquors you haven't seen nor heard hide or hair from in decades, for obvious reasons. So in order to make sure that the table was well served, as were the people, not overserved but well served, what we did is we went online and we discovered a bunch of different recipes for each of them, because nobody's going to have a clue how to make a Tom Collins if they're at a 60s party, unless...
Totally know how to make a Tom Collins, but, well, no, my bad. I know
yeah, well, sorry. Anyways, so what we did is we printed them out in, I printed 3 to a page, and I basically just downloaded the little recipes on each of them, put a little cocktail symbol on top, using the same font that we used in the invitations and in some of the signage for the party. And then what we did is cut them each out, so, and laid them out on the bar. You could put them on foam core if you wanted to be really, you know, super special, but I just put them on pieces of paper. So you got your gimlet, your mint julep, your Bloody Mary, your Manhattan, Tom Collins, Greyhound, Old Fashioned, gimlet, Tom Collins, Old Fashioned, and at the very center of it all,
the martini. Now, and I also want to make sure that I point out that you can get all of these, you can download them on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Greater Boston Gala Girls.
Exactly. So you'll have the wherewithal to do this in a heartbeat. So what we did and what we're going to show you tonight is basically your basic martini, because I think that's the staple of a 60s party.
And not only that, but if you actually made all these and drank all these, you'd never ever see the end of your party. So yeah, let's just
stick to one, shall we? Good call.
Safety's sake. Okay, let's bring it on.
So we've got our little skewers here with some olives. Now, unfortunately, times have changed. Well, fortunately, times have changed, and we've got all sorts of olives. You could spend a good $15 on a bottle of olives. It could be stuffed with blue cheese, it could be stuffed with jalapenos, etc. Back in the day, they just had your old-fashioned drink olives, and that's what we went with. So, the most important key to any martini, anyone will tell you from 007 and beyond, ice. You want to make sure that your shaker is
so cold.
is filled with ice. And so the way that we're going to break it down, we're going to do one batch, which will serve 4 people. I know, how did we come up with that number? Basically, what it's going to be is we're going to do 4 parts vodka to a half part vermouth. Just want a hint of vermouth, if they say. So Alex is going to do the measuring.
Can you explain about the whole jigger measurement, because this was all news to me?
Sure. The top part, the big part, that's 1 part. The other one on the other side, that's a halvesies. Now you can do gin. I actually prefer gin, but I find that most partygoers in this day and age prefer vodka. So we're doing vodka here, and a dry vermouth. You don't want to go sweet vermouth. That is in some of these other cocktails. I believe the Manhattan has sweet vermouth, which, by the way, I don't know if you've ever tasted sweet vermouth.
Yeah, nasty.
Horrible. And bitters, might I suggest not buying them? Go and ask like your old aunt, who's like 90 years old, and I guarantee you she has a jar of bitters, which by the way no one will use, but they look cute as a prop.
And not for nothing, they probably are as old as old Aunt Edith.
Yeah, exactly. Edith has probably had those bitters since she was 40. So
I'm so excited to do this.
Off you go to the races.
Of course, let me just make sure it's on, because that would be a huge party foul. You ready?
Ready? No need to act like Tom Cruise in Cocktail. You can just shake normally. But what I also found at the party, which was important, please ignore the person next to me, was to have one shaker with a giant bucket of ice next to it, so that people can do them individually, because nobody wants a warm martini, that's for sure.
And I have to say, okay, I know we're fooling around now, but wow, this is cold. I mean, really cold. Like I almost need a pot holder.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
So I'm just pouring right in?
Pour them in you go. And you don't want to go too high, because don't forget, Martinis back in the day were in smaller glasses, first of all. Our glasses these days are basically a small trough, which I enjoy, but some people don't. So back in the day in the 60s, it was a small amount of liquor in a much smaller glass. These are...
Make it up.
Yeah, there you go. See, but that's okay. It's a nice taste. And there was no such thing as a dirty martini back in the 60s. Just FYI. So there you have it, the perfect martini. So easy and simple to remember. Ladies, would you like to join us?
Love to.
Come in, have your martini.
Martinis are best served while cold. So thank you so much for joining us tonight for our Mad Men party. We hope you create the same thing and have just as much fun as we did and plan to do again when the season opens this summer.
Love
Can't
that.
wait.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, let's give this thing a whirl.
Yum.
A
that's
wonderful
really good.
martini.
It's really good.
Yes.
I mean, you know, I wasn't going to be like, this sucks.
Surprise.
Yeah. But no, I love it. And I have to say, I like the little olivey picks. And I, too, am a fan of the 3 olives.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, hi.
Yeah, it's an appetizer and a drink.
Sure is.
Frankly. Any excuse for a party, people. Thank you again for joining us.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.